Hello YouTube on this fine Wednesday, February 4th, 2015. Chris for the Handegard channel with a little Bureau of Labor Statistics information I'd like to review, and the current unemployment numbers that came out that they were very happy about, being down to 5.6 unemployment. So I would like to bring to your attention this very interesting article which was put up on the David Stockman Contra Corner website. Highly recommend subscribing to it. David Stockman is a former budget director under Reagan, and he's a very outspoken critic of everything that's going wrong and a good truth teller. So you're seeing this screenshot of the article posted on his site, written by Mike Shedlock, entitled Gallup CEO Calls 5.6 Unemployment Rate the Big Lie, a deeper look at the jobs numbers. Now Gallup, as you most likely know, is one of the major polling institutions that we gather our statistics from. And if I'm not mistaken, these numbers that the government rolls out are in large part, if not sometimes entirely, derived from the polls, because they don't just get all the employers sending them information on who's got a job and who doesn't when they come up with the statistics. They rely a lot on these polls. Now the CEO, his name is Jim Clifton, posted an article called The Big Lie, and I'm going to click on this link in Mike Shedlock's article just to go there for a second. And if you actually go to Mike Shedlock's article, let me see if I can expand this. I'm still learning to use this Camtasia software, so the view area is a little limited, and I'd like to stretch it, but it may not let me. Okay, well, his article here is posted describing his take, since he is the CEO of Gallup polls, who come up with a lot of these statistics. And he's trying to tell us, he's trying to give us the heads up that the government is lying to us. It should be no surprise to anybody who's got a half a brain and one eye open. If you got a full brain and both eyes open, then you probably have already read this. So here's what he's saying, is that the statistic is entirely misleading, and it's designed to deceive you and lead you down a path of believing the total horse shit that the economy is recovering. So employment is a big factor in that lie that we've got a recovering economy. And he goes into reasonably good detail as to why he feels that way. So I recommend you go to that one, read his article. It's very short, it's only a few paragraphs, on the big lie and why 5.6 unemployment, as trotted out by the government, is bullshit. So let's go back to Mike Shedlock's article for a second, and I'll point you to a couple of things on the article. Go to the article yourself and read it for yourself. Don't take it from me. I'm just another guy trying to find out what the heck's going on, and I'm unemployed, and I've been trying to get a job for a while, unsuccessfully, partially successful, didn't last. I've been doing gold mining for a couple of years, as you know if you've been following my website. I kind of like that freedom, and that's one thing the government does not like. They don't want us to have freedom, rest assured. So here we go. Let's scroll down through the article here, and this is the quote from the CEO of Gallup, Jim Clifton. I'm going to try and highlight it. Here we go, and read it. That he's saying that here's something that many Americans, including some of the smartest and most educated among us, don't know. The official unemployment rate, as reported by the U.S. Department of Labor, is extremely misleading. Well, that's real polite speech for they're friggin' lying to us. They are deceiving us deliberately. So if you want the wool to stay pulled over your eyes, just keep swallowing the anecdotal blue pill and stay in the matrix. If you're sick of being hornswoggled and sold down the river, just open your eyes. It's all right there to see. Anyway, before I get too off on a rant, I'm just trying to point you at this factual information. And he goes on to point out exactly why this 5.6 unemployment number is fictitious. They pulled it out of their schwing, to quote Max Kaiser, one of my favorite analysts. They pulled it out of their rear end. They are definitely trying to spin it in a positive way. I'll highlight another. These are the highlighted quotations, which means he wants to emphasize them, so I'll mention them here in my review, and you go read it for yourself. He says, there's no other way to say this. The official unemployment rate, which cruelly overlooks the suffering of the long-term and often permanently unemployed, as well as the depressingly underemployed, amounts to a big lie. Yeah, because I'm among those, and I bet some of you are too. The underemployed, the chronically unemployed. You can't find a job? Yeah, no kidding. It's no wonder that so many of the Americans are not feeling this great recovery. That's what he says here. He says he hears all the time that unemployment is greatly reduced. But the people aren't feeling it. When the media, talking heads, the White House, and Wall Street start reporting the truth, the percent of Americans in good jobs, jobs that are full-time and real, then we will quit wondering why Americans aren't feeling something that doesn't remotely reflect the reality in their lives. And we will also quit wondering what hollowed out the middle class. In other words, if the powers that be actually start telling the truth of how messed up it is, how bad it really is, how many don't have good jobs and that they're bullshitting us, we won't have to wonder why we don't feel so good about this supposed recovery that isn't. Because it ain't there. Some people are doing better, sure. Some people are still managing to get along, sure. But the vast majority of those benefiting from this grand recovery are the top 1%, and especially the 1% of the 1%. The uber wealthy are getting truckloads of money shoveled into their bank accounts thanks to this so-called recovery. You feeling it? Yeah, me too. I can feel several hands in my pocket, and none of them are mine. So quickly down the list here, he's got some nice statistics of how the Gallup reports their unemployment numbers. The percentage of unemployed, 6.1%. 15.9% are underemployed. Maybe they're working part-time. Maybe they got a crappy job. They need another one. That is significantly more than 5.6% of the people. You know, and just quick rough adding, what is that, 23% are either unemployed or underemployed? Not such a pretty picture, is it? That's almost a quarter, 1/4 of the population in this grand, wonderful country. Now, down to a statistic here. Let's look at this chart. Bears looking at. Let's see if I can blow it up for you, just to really quickly point out the glaring inconsistency with what the governments try to tell us of how friggin' great it is. Let's see. I don't seem to know how to go back to full screen here, so bear with me as I try and work with my current knowledge of this software. It'll get better, I promise. Notice, if you can follow my cursor here, this is where we are at now, the civilian labor force participation rate. That's the number of people of working age between 25 and 60, I think was the statistic, who are currently employed. And it's down here in the 63% range. Well, if you follow the graph, it hasn't been this bad since the late 70s. Okay? That's how screwed up it is. It is nowhere near any way, shape, or form a recovery. Please, wake up and smell the coffee there if you haven't already, because it stinks. So let's go back to the article. Let's see if I can do this without closing the page that I don't want to close. Just want to back up to my article here and scroll down to the next graph real quickly. So, I mean, we know we're being hoodwinked. We know we're not getting told the straight dope on just about everything. So this is, we're not getting told the truth on unemployment. There'll be plenty of other chances for we're not getting told the truth on a number of other topics, so I'll try not to divert myself. Scroll on down, read the article, please. Read the article for yourself. This is the employment rate of those who are 25 to 54. The other one was the labor force participation rate. This is the employment rate as a percentage, again, of those of 25 to 54. Let that graph blow up here. I think I double-clicked it. There we go. And let's make it full size for you. Currently, here we are at, it wants to turn it into a plus. Okay, so there's my cursor. You should be able to see it, I hope. Let me move this. Having a hard time with the graphics, so again, I beg your indulgence, and that should put the viewing area over the graph. You know, where we are now in 2014 is, you know, just rough estimates, somewhere here in the 76% range maybe. And again, the same sort of statistic. Here's the grand recovery the government wants you to think we can enjoy. Now we can breathe a sigh of relief. Ooh, we've turned the corner. Escape velocity. Woohoo. Here we go. Happy days again. Well, here's where we are from the Great Depression recession of '09. We made it back up this far, which, hey, wow, that's about as good as we were doing back in 1985 as far as how many people aged 25 to 54 have a friggin' job. Don't believe the government's lies for a minute. These criminals will do anything to keep you from seeing through the ruse, the pretense, the fog, the smoke screen that they continually to blow out in your face. So, you know, if you're in school and not working, you're not counted as unemployed, but if you're in school and you work 3 hours a week, you're counted as employed. They have 7 ways to Sunday to trick and game the statistics. And it's the same reason, the same end result that they're trying to achieve, which is to deceive you, which is to fool you into thinking things are going to be okay. Don't worry, stay calm and keep shopping. Don't believe it for a second, man. You'll find more links here to other good topics that are worth catching up on. This is a trio of links here regarding disability fraud. So maybe I'll get into that and do a quick review of those to maybe get some interest. You want to go there, find out more about it, read it, do your homework. Don't believe the official statements. Look around it. Find out for yourself, because these people all have a vested interest in bullshitting you. It's to keep their jobs. It's to keep lining their pockets with the money they're stealing from you, and to keep the Ponzi scheme going as long as they can. Because they know the jig is up. They know the game is up. And as soon as it's really over, most of them have a place to run to and hide. Anyway, enough with that. Read the article. Before you swallow the statistics as they're spewed out, look around it. Just Google it. Google real labor statistics numbers, or BLS fraud, or Bureau of Labor Statistics, whatever you want to put in there. Baloney. And you will have numerous places to go and find accurate research, credible statistics, not the baloney they trot out with nothing behind it. So don't be fooled. Keep looking around it. Stay alert. Stay vigilant, like some people say. That's it for Chris, for the HandyGuard channel on this February the 4th, 2015. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Click a thumbs up if you are so inclined. I appreciate your subscriptions. Leave a comment if you'd like to, and I will respond as best I can. If you like this content, I'll put more of it up. Let me know what you like. Thanks again.